Oh my gosh,
Fundamentals.
we would be the bad boys of Little League. I'm telling you now, we would beat the tar out of the other team.
I'm just gonna go out and say it. Joey Chestnut has to be on the pub.
Has to
Mount
be.
Pubmore.
Has to be.
Dramatic, man. That was a journey.
First time on air. Anything to say to Lawan here to get him back?
Look, bro, there are stories I could tell people about Lawan, but we'll keep those right here. I'm gonna let him live.
So smart, and my team is so dumb. My coach he looks dumb. He's a big baby. This
Dude,
man,
those graphics.
Finally worked.
Episode 182. Vontae, finally, I got your soundbite to work, and you're on with us. This is going to be a great episode. This is going to be good. Also, I'm upset with your Falcons. I'm not going to lie. You had Bill Goldberg in attendance wearing the Atlanta Falcons heavyweight championship belt, and then you guys lose. I was upset. We'll get to it, but I just want to let you know I was upset. I felt your pain. So
yeah, we'll get to it. Man.
We'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
Yeah, Preacher Man Fitzsimmons. You sent the best clip that you could on the group chat of Coming to America with Eddie Murphy. What they predicted the future.
Yeah, it sucks. It is tough.
Sorry.
It's tough. What goes up must come down. Last week I was on top. Now I'm just rock bottom with the Packers. It's roller coaster, but we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about. Yeah,
I'm optimistic.
We'll talk about Packers and the passing Paisan. Don't need DeVito later. Let's just get into it. Blind top 5. Sports Center anchors or hosts.
Oh.
Yeah. Once again, randomized list. I had a list of about 30 names, and these are the top 5 that got thrown out there. There's some great names in here. Okay. Number
I have a
1.
top 2. I have a top 2.
Ooh,
I don't.
So
maybe they're on there. All right, maybe.
I'm saving the top for those guys. I've got 2 in mind.
Okay, no promises they're on there, but there's some heavyweights
Okay.
on there. Okay. We're going to start off with a banger. Mr. SVP, Scott Van Pelt.
Shoot. SVP, I'll go with him at I'll start him off at number 4. The way he looks, I wouldn't imagine him having as much personality as he does, just because. But I don't know. I kind of rock with him.
Yeah.
So it's SVP at number 4 for me.
He looks like a terrapin. He looks like a turtle in that picture right there.
Dana Carvey. What was it in the sky?
I think he's my number 2.
Yeah.
I think he was one of the 2 I was thinking of.
Yeah.
That I just remember there was a pair that were my go-to, and when they were paired together, it was game over. And Scott Van Pelt was one of them. Some of my favorite videos of Scott Van Pelt on SportsCenter. One of them being every time he had Coach Mike Bray of Notre Dame, they'd be talking about, I'm in my Maui look. I'll be in my Maui best. And there's just a bit they did, I'll see you at Dewey Beach, as a veteran of many Dewey Beach summers and all these different things. And so, yeah, I crack up just the obscure jokes that Scott Van Pelt throws in. Also very knowledgeable in sports, especially brought a lot to golf, I think, golf analysis and everything he does is great. And then his radio show is awesome. So, yeah, Scott Van Pelt is solid number 2.
I love it. Definitely one of those childhood guys we grew up with. All right, next up, Linda Cohn, putting on for the females.
Yeah, I guess I'll go number 5. That's not really a name that sticks out to me as far as with broadcasters and sports broadcasters and stuff. So I'll put it at number 5. Maybe I don't watch enough sports, or maybe I should stop listening to sports on mute or something. But yeah, I'll put it at number 5.
I don't mind Linda Cohn. She was one of the original. I think she's better than Susie Colbert. Is that the other one?
Hands down, yeah.
She's better than her. I'll do number 4.
Yeah.
She's not quite on the podium for me, but I think there could be someone way worse. So I'm gonna put Linda at 4.
Okay. I like it. I like it. She was like the first, this sounds super sexist. I don't mean to, but like first female anchor where I was like, yo, she's very knowledgeable. She knows what he's talking about. It's like the first one I remember. I'm like, yeah, I trust Linda Cohen with my sports.
Well, see, Doris Burke, I don't know if you
Oh.
include her,
Yeah,
but
Doris,
she would have been, Doris
Above her.
Burke is
Mm,
like elite. She's like God tier for me.
I will
Dude,
tell you, she was in my 25 names. So
Okay.
kind of
Okay.
possibility. All right, next
This
up.
is just discount
Yeah.
Doris Burke
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah. Next up, Mr. Rich Eisen.
basically. Ooh.
Mm.
I'll go with him. Number 2, Rich Eisen. That's one that has sort of been timeless. I remember. I guess we're old enough to remember when he first did the 40.
Yeah.
That kind of stuck out because it's like you think you can do the same thing, and then Rich Eisen was like, well, as long as my 40 time is better than Rich Eisen's, then I'm good. But then past that, like he's expanded so much, and he's a good guy. He's been kind of always been a funny guy to me too. So go with number 2, Mr. Rich Eisen.
Yeah, I think I gotta play it safe. I'm gonna put Rich Eisen at 3. I do think he's solid. I love his radio show and some of his guests that he has on, and I love his takes. I think he's just done, for someone his age, I think he's really mastered social media and also still maintaining being authentic and being true to his roots in sports broadcasting. But love Rich Eisen, so I'll put him number 3.
Yeah, and both him and SVP and even Linda, like we grew up with, and like I think they've changed with sports media, unlike a lot of anchors that have come and go, and they've got edgier. They're not afraid to stand their ground on. I love it. I'm here for it. All right.
Rich Eisen's reactions I like. He'll just film himself in an elevator, like this is my reaction to the Giants beating the Packers this week or whatever it is.
Right.
It's always gold.
It's like dad humor on social media, but it works out now because it's still funny.
Yeah. I like that. All right, next up, putting on for current Sports Center anchors and the females, Miss Sage Still.
I guess I got to put her at 3.
Hold on,
she
that
was
one
cool
spot.
initially, but I don't know. It's you said what?
I said you're holding on to that one spot. You're keeping it tight.
Yeah, I can't. I don't even know who the next person is. I'm not giving it to her.
Okay.
Is she
Sage Still was cool and
is she NBA first?
Go ahead.
Is she ESPN First Take? Is she kind of like the mediator for that, or is that somebody else?
I
think so.
If she was, or at least started.
Because I hate First Take.
Yeah.
For that reason,
Mike and
alone,
Mike,
I'm putting it
ESPN
number
First
5.
Take. Yeah.
I hate First Take. That show's garbage.
I agree. I
Yeah.
don't like First Take either.
Like if you had like Stephen A. Smith on here, he'd be number 5.
Oh hell! And I don't know if he's ever
He'd
done
be way
Sports
above.
Center, like been a host of it.
Well, they always would go to Stephen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to think he was just because they did it so much.
Maybe.
He was
I
on
always thought he was
ESPN,
a correspondent.
100%.
Yeah. I always just think him a correspondent. Like, oh, let's go.
Yeah,
Stephen A.
they'd
Smith.
always go to him, and then who was the guy? John Clayton.
John Clayton, the Peanut Head,
Mm.
dude. One of the best Sports Center commercials.
Yeah,
Ma, segment's over.
They go to those guys. Yeah.
All right. Last but not least, and I think this is who you guys were hoping for.
Oh, it has to be.
Cooler than the other side of the pillow.
Yes, Stu.
R.I.P. Stuart
Yes.
Scott.
Oh, come
Yes.
on. Oh, absolutely. Number
Yeah.
1,
Yep.
unquestionably. You tried to
Yep.
set us up, I feel like.
I was
Like,
trying to get some
imagine-
heavyweights in there earlier. Yeah.
Right.
I knew he was gonna
But
be
no,
there.
Stuart Scott, man. UNC's finest.
Uh-huh.
Cool. Mr. Cool. RIP him. Kind of got me into like watching broadcasters to begin with because
Yeah.
I associated broadcasting with like the news. And to this day, I don't watch the news. So it was just like a person talking, but then he made it seem cool, being cool in general. So, yeah, number 1.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just remember when I was in college, it was kind of the dying days of Sports Center because Twitter just killed Sports Center. The thought process of people won't watch highlights, people don't want to want to hear us just talk about the game or whatever it was. And I just remember coming in from studying, and it's like 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning on just like a weekday. And I come in, and my roommate and I are getting ready to go to bed. And the desk was Stuart Scott and Scott Van Pelt.
Oh,
And we were like, all right, get a beer. We gotta stay up.
yeah.
And it was just a good show. It was just awesome.
Here to stay up, bro.
It was just awesome. It was just a good show. I mean, like on a weekday where you got like 8 o'clock class the next day, like it was like
But
screw
you
it.
said a
It was-
beer to stay up. You got y'all pouring a beer?
Well, I don't know, just like crack a beer, just like just we're gonna
Unwind a
bond
little
over
bit,
this.
yeah.
We're gonna bond over this. I mean that
y'all are built
seriously.
different.
Yeah. Oh, that's what we do. Mountain folk.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
no, solid
Um,
list.
Yeah. Good list, boys. Way not to bite on SVP and Rich Eisen. I was like, I'm gonna get him. But no,
Now, if
you
you
guys
put
did good. Yeah,
if you
true.
put Berman,
Oh,
I would.
Yeah,
I may take the bait.
yeah. Berman's good.
Mike
Not
Breen,
Mel Kiper though.
See, I don't think Mel Kiper's sport. I think he's more of a correspondent like Steve.
Todd.
All right. Yeah, Chris Berman, Dan Patrick, or some other big names, but
Dan Patrick's a good one.
Yeah. R.I.P.
Jay-
Stuart Scott.
What's his name? Jay Billis?
Oh yeah, Jay
Jay
Billis.
Billis.
Yeah.
Gotta go to work.
That's right, baby. All right, let's move into a little college football action. Let's talk about the Heisman. Mr. Jaden Daniels brings it home, throws for over 4,000 yards, run for 1,000 yards, 10 tutties on the ground, 33 tutties in the air. Now, he's not part of the greatest team like Joe Burrow was when he won it with LSU. This is a very mediocre LSU team. But the Heisman goes to the most electric best player. Do we think the Heisman voters got it right here?
I know when I found out that he won it, I was kind of shocked. But all in all, I'm glad that Bo Nix didn't get it. Just because, I feel like we were that close to having him hoist that trophy up at 31 years old. And I'm glad. I remember, but I think we forget too. I had to go back and think, try to make it make sense, because Jaden Daniels was good. He kind of carried LSU, because that was a kind of forgettable team outside of some of the few good games. But when he started out at Arizona State as a freshman, and he had Arizona State ranked. Well, they were ranked a little bit this year too, but still, as a freshman doing that with Arizona State was crazy. And then they disrespected him, showed him clearing out his locker and stuff, and he bounced back.
Oh yeah, they went through it, didn't they?
Yeah, this man is 19 years old, and they up there bullying him. Half of those guys are 25 because of the COVID rule, and they up there bullying that little kid. But he made it happen. He's got the Heisman now. He looks like he can barely hold it up. And it reminded me of when Devontae Smith won the Heisman, and the Heisman was 2 times bigger. But shout out to Jaden Daniels, man. Did he declare for the draft yet, or are we still waiting on it?
I don't know.
I don't think he's officially declared yet.
Oh, okay. But yeah, man, I don't think they got it right, but I don't think they got it wrong. It's one of those things. I will say Tom Brady was right, because these guys aren't mediocre, but it's just growing up with the quarterbacks we grew up with that didn't even make it, and then seeing what makes the Heisman now is kind of shocking a little bit. But
yeah,
I don't think they got it wrong. I don't think they got it right.
I saw a couple campaigns. I saw the Marvin Harrison Jr. I saw a campaign for that. I do think when you're talking in terms of who's going to be the most explosive player and who's going to be the kind of the wow draft pick, I think that's the guy. I think he's the best player. I think everyone would agree on that. But he's wide receiver, and that
he finished fourth. Yeah,
they just never win. And Ohio State didn't make the playoffs. The other one was, I saw a lot of people made the case for the Florida State quarterback. It's if he's really that good, if it's so detrimental that he's not there or whatever, and they would have gotten in with him. I don't know. there's a little bit of an argument there. Then if he's really that good, then go ahead and give him the Heisman. Like if he's the entire Florida State team,
Yeah, all 22 positions. Yeah.
That,
That's.
point. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was saying that is a good point. I remember when Jordan Travis was on his tier, they had put him up there with Heisman odds, but I think they still had him behind like Drake May, which pissed me off too, because I don't even know how Drake May was up there. And so Drake May and Caleb Williams kind of fell at the same time, which was
that's NC State bias right there.
It is.
That is.
But I really don't see the difference between Drake May and Sam Howell the whole time.
Yeah.
But you can't say NC State bias just because like he's good and all, but
yeah, I know.
They started it out like, oh, Drake May is the savior of the world and all this stuff. All right, not too much. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's the Mac Brown machine. Like you get behind Mac, you got some money coming your way.
Yeah.
And fame.
I agree, and Fitz, I agree with your take too. If Jordan Travis meant that much to that team, then he's the most electric player ever because you let an undefeated Power 5 champion not make the playoffs. So I'm with you. My pick, I always thought Michael Penix Jr. was the guy. Like I was like, okay, this guy deserves it. He just seems like he's got his team. They're right there. They're in the playoffs.
Yeah,
they're undefeated. Mm-hmm. His stats are very similar to Jayden Daniels, except for the run game. He's lacking. He doesn't have 1,000 yards rushing or 10 tutties. I think he's at like 600 and like 3 or 4 tutties on the ground. But everything else very similar, cut and dry. I think he has more throwing yards. Like to me, it was Michael Penix Jr. I'm with you though, Vontae, but they got it wrong, but they didn't get it right either. Like it was, yeah.
And one thing about Penix, he I wouldn't say he cheated the grind either. This man started out. I'll never forget watching him play at Indiana, and he pretty much could have carried. Did he get? I don't know if he got Indiana to a bowl game or if they were like 1 or 2 games short. But I remember watching him then, and then seeing him at Washington, and like some of the weight got lifted off. He has like a sizable defense to help him out, so that was pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and I think if I'm wrong, maybe, but I think when he was at Indiana, like he had them undefeated, and like they were ranking their. Like, everyone was like, "Yo, where's this Indiana team?" Goes, and then he tears the ACL. I think it's Maryland, like in October or something, and then they fell off. I totally forgot about that. Like he had Indiana, like, oh shit, the Hoosiers are coming. I was actually
paying attention to him since who was the last player they had? Was it Nick too? No, that was Wisconsin. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
can't name one.
Kind of hard. Oh, Tevin Coleman. Dang, I'm fake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you see, like that was like damn near 10 years ago. So.
Yeah. Man, I forgot all about him being a Hoosier. That's cool. All right. Well, we talked about Drake May. Let's go ahead and continue talking about him and Sam Hartman. They're both gonna skip their bowl game and get ready for the NFL draft. Overall, I think this is a good move. It's a business move. Like the competitive player in me doesn't like it, but then taking that out, everything else, this is a business move. I think it makes sense for these guys because you go out there, you tear an ACL. Who was it? Jaden Smith for Notre Dame popped his knee out, tore everything in the bowl game, and then went from probably first 3 pick to like 5th round, 6th round pick. So I think this is a good business move for the boys.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out who else was. I've honestly been seeing more news about people transferring from skip the bowl instead of just sitting out. At least on our end. As far as with sitting out, the only thing it hurts is me betting on these bowl games. But you know what? It's all good. Go make your paper or whatever.
Don't bet on the bowl game. Playoffs only.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense then. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wonder like what type of earful Mac Brown gave Drake May for skipping it because he's an old head. He's like, you're cheating your team.
Yeah.
But they probably don't. I don't know. And I'm also wondering like whenever it comes to this, it's also interesting to see because it's almost like it's not preseason, but it's kind of like preseason because you get to see who could possibly be next up, but we don't know because of how the transfer portal's been going. But at least get a glimpse of who's next up, and if the team is actually who they say they are. Like, are they actually next up, or was it just all reliant on one player? So, I mean, I guess it makes it a little more exciting, but
Yeah.
You want a crazy bet for bowl games? Bet the over for every college bowl game and bet the under for every playoff game. I'd be curious what hits.
Okay. That's good. That's gonna be your mission this year, Fitz. Put a
Just
dollar
because
on every
who
over.
plays defense in a bowl game?
oh
Yeah, that's true.
that is-
You know,
that's
like
good.
who cares? Like no one's
Yeah.
really gonna try that hard.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, Vontae. You sparked my brain here. McCourty, Ohio State's quarterback, is in the transfer portal. He was a starting quarterback. They had one loss on their team. It was to Michigan. He's in the transfer portal. How do we feel about that? Like, I've seen the internet split. Like, okay, good for him. He's maybe he's got other things going on. He didn't like a quarterback coach. He didn't like the coach. Whatever it might have been, he wants out. But then the flip side has been like, yo, this guy's soft as hell. Like, what type of character does this guy have that he's running from Michigan? Like, you had one loss. You're supposed to be the captain, the starting quarterback, and now you're in the transfer portal. I'm curious your guys' takes.
One thing I've been looking at the transfer portal too is interesting because I remember hearing news about the quarterback from Duke, Riley Leonard,
Yeah.
possibly going to Ohio State. He ended up at Notre Dame, which is kind of fitting. So I was just thinking, like, I wonder if it matters at all, like what classes are going to transfer. You know, like simple, normal people stuff like that.
Right.
And Notre Dame kind of fits because Notre Dame, Duke, or whatever. But I'm trying to think. I don't think he's been placed anywhere. So Kyle McCord hasn't been placed anywhere, and honestly, I couldn't tell you how good or bad he is. Like, I mean, he had a really good quarterback, but I remember he got benched like sometime in the middle of the season. Unless he was, but I remember he was like bad, and he got benched for somebody else. So that's another thing. Shoot, what if he just turns heel and like ends up at Miami, Ohio, or like Michigan, some weird like that?
Yeah.
Because
There's some talk.
Tyler Van Dyke ended up from the U. He ended up at Wisconsin, and that came out of nowhere for a team that doesn't even really throw like that. But yeah.
Also,
So,
Van Dyke's like 40, I feel like.
basically, at
He's
least
been there forever.
I hate that dude. I hate him.
No, what's wild to me, and I'll let Fitz jump in here in a second, but McCourty is rumored to be going to Nebraska. And that's like dumbfounding to me.
What the heck? What is he gonna do there?
Dude, I don't know. He's got a recruiting visit. I think he's got it this week sometime.
Imagine visiting Nebraska. That's crazy. And within itself. Now, like back in like we were like little kids, Nebraska was it. That was the football mecca.
Yeah.
Now, like, what do you do out there?
Can't do it. I don't know. Fitz, what's your takes on McCourty transferring here?
I got nothing, man.
Okay.
I can't with college. It's just it's a foreign concept at this point.
He hit his max.
I thought of this week. I watched Arsenal play Aston Villa, and I don't know how to say it. Aston Villa. Anyway, I think I'm gonna do it for Matt. I'm gonna get into soccer. Watch a little morning footy. And then I don't watch college football. So that'll be my Saturday, is like to just have a Premier League.
You're messing up because Premier League comes on 8 a.m., 9 a.m. Eastern time. You're a little, hour earlier there, but then at 1 o'clock, there's nothing for you. So now you got to watch college football.
I'll be fine. I don't watch it anyway. Like I literally don't watch. I haven't watched sports on Saturday. Like,
you're a fraud.
Dang, man. What do you like read? Like, what do you do?
There's a little nook.
I just don't.
That man said I'm told. Oh.
I just do something different every Saturday. I just don't watch college football.
This jabroni.
It seems so like stress free and freeing. Because
it's kind of nice. Because I mean Sundays are packed. Like I watch football like all day Sunday.
Yeah.
Catch up on
all right.
the show. So.
We got one more college football thing for you, Fitz, and then we'll go to the NFL. We'll go to the league for you. Bowl season is here. It's week 1. We're going to make our predictions. This goes up until next Monday, that's the final game, West Kentucky versus Old Dominion, and then we'll do next week's next pod. So Georgia Southern versus Ohio, Myrtle Beach Bowl. Georgia Southern 3.5-point favorite, over under set 48.5. Who we taking here, boys?
I'll take Ohio on this one.
Taking them action, baby.
Yeah, I'll never rock with the Myrtle Beach Bowl because when I worked at Coastal, it was at Coastal Stadium. And they told, like, I had to work that day, and they said, like, no, you can't be here. And I had to move out of my parking spot, but I got off of work early, so it's all good. But yeah, Ohio got it. Was there plus 3 point? Yeah, plus 3.5.
Plus 3.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Georgia Southern, closer to Myrtle Beach.
Oh, okay. My man Matt quested it there.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that is good.
The only thing I could think about was how JMU whooped Georgia. Was it Georgia? Yeah, it was Georgia Southern.
They beat the dog shit out of them. Yeah. I'm with you. I want to say Georgia Southern, but I think logistically I'm going to go Ohio here. I think they plus 3.5. That feels tasty to me. I like that. Over 48.5. Fitz is calling all overs here, so I like that too. All right. Cricket Celebration Bowl. Howard, Florida A&M. Florida A&M minus 5.5-point favorite, over under set 55.5. Got an explosion of points.
Oh, this is definitely going to be an over, but I'll take Florida A&M.
The
Rattlers.
Rattlers.
Powerhouse. Yeah, they've been a powerhouse in football. They're now finally getting back to it, so I'll take it.
I'll take Howard.
Just
No
because.
reason why.
I like it. Me and Devon, we sip on the same Kool-Aid, brother. I'm taking the Rattlers. I'm taking Florida A&M. Jacksonville State, Louisiana Raging Cajuns. Jacksonville State minus 3.5. Over under set 59.5. This is the New Orleans Carrier Bowl.
I think Jacksonville State probably got it, but I'd probably take the under on points. I feel like they might stalemate a little bit.
I take the Cajuns. It's in New Orleans. That's kind of unfair.
Yeah.
RL Carriers Bowl. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the time of year I always look for what's my favorite bowl name.
Bowl name. Man, I like the take of it's in New Orleans. Louisiana doesn't have a short road trip there, but the Raging Cajuns stink. They're a bad football team. Give me Jacksonville State. They're actually a pretty damn good team. All right, the New Mexico Bowl. Guess who's in it? New Mexico State taking on Fresno State. New Mexico State 3.5-point favorite, over under set 51.5.
Oh, I got Fresno on this one. Fresno's kind of been rolling on the low.
Yeah, low key
Where is
the
this
past
at?
2 years.
Albuquerque.
Albuquerque.
Ooh, what is?
See,
All right.
this is so stupid. Like, New Mexico State gets to play in Albuquerque. Like, it's purely to get tickets. Like,
It's money, baby. It's
that's
money.
all this is about.
Yeah.
So give me New Mexico State in Albuquerque.
Damn. Dude, I feel so bad going against Fitz on all these picks, but I'm going to take Fresno State too because they had been low-key sneaky for the past 2 years. Give them the Bulldogs. All right. The Orlando Cure Bowl, App State versus Miami of Ohio. App -6 favorite, over under 45.5. Keep this in mind. Miami, Ohio has only lost one game this season.
Mm-hmm.
App's only lost one bowl game though, right?
In our existence, correct.
I'm gonna take the overall points, and I'll take App on this one.
I'll take
No
App
real
State.
reason.
Yeah. Roll Nears, baby. I'm taking them too. All right. The LA Bowl, hosted by Gronk. I don't know why they had to throw that in there.
What?
That's in there.
Already.
That's in there.
Yeah.
Starco Brands.
Starco Brands. Yeah.
Hosted by Gronk.
UCLA, 3.5-point favorite, taking on Boise State, over under set 49.5.
I'm gonna take the under on points, and I'll take Boise State on this one. I think they finally get defended on this one. Because
I'll take UCLA.
you look at like the rosters on some of these schools, and like Boise and other places, a lot of these people are already from LA, so it's not even like a home. UCLA, I guess, but like they got family watching them too. So
I'll take UCLA.
Once again, this is in Los Angeles, and UCLA is playing in it. I'm gonna take the Bruins here. Actually, no, they just lost their quarterback to the transfer portal. Give me Boise State.
Bro, also UCLA cheated NC State out of a bowl. I'll never forget that too.
A little bitter there, huh?
Yeah, very. I'll
Uh,
never be better.
the Independence Bowl, Cal versus Texas Tech. Texas Tech minus 2.5 point favorite. Over under set 57.5. I don't know where the Independence Bowl is played. I'll tell you here in a second.
I'm gonna take the under on points and take Cal though.
It says Shreveport, Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Where the hell is Shreveport?
That's where Boosie's from.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Shreveport. Where's
Wait,
that?
never mind. Baton Rouge, one of them.
Baton
I'll
Rouge.
take Texas Tech. But I just want to see where this city is. Oh, it's like basically in Texas. I mean, like it's like right on, like, you know, Louisiana is like a boot. It's like right on like the back. What do you call where you put your foot in the boot? Like the shoe
The
hole?
heel?
It's not the heel, it's up top.
Oh, there's a toe box.
It's at the top back corner, like where usually the strap is on your tennis shoe. It's like right on the
Oh.
strap, or like the spur. If there's a spur, it's kind of like where the spur is.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
Shreveport, right on the spur.
Shreveport. I'm gonna take Texas Tech here. I'm gonna take the Rebels. All right. The Buttery Bowl. Western Kentucky taking on Old Dominion. ODU minus 2.5. Over-runners at 55.5.
Did you say Buttery Bowl?
It's
Yeah.
not the Buttery Bowl. It's the famous Toastery Bowl.
Oh, Toastery Bowl. Sorry.
Toastery.
Toastery.
Oh yeah.
It's by Buttery. Sorry. My bad.
Okay.
Buttery
That's
is
a
the
pretty good
company.
restaurant.
Yeah.
Famous Toastery.
Um,
That's in Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
there's one there. I had one there's like a couple in South Carolina somewhere. It's pretty good. It's a brunch spot. It's pretty good stuff. Which is when I saw that, I was like, when did they get a bowl game? Because they didn't have one last year. But
No, they
either
didn't.
way, I'll go ODU. Go ODU with the over on points.
Yeah, I'll do Old Dominion.
This is where we differ. This is where we part ways. We play the Fast and Furious, and we go in different directions here. Except you're Paul Walker. You're down on this pick because I'm taking Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. Let's roll, baby.
Mm.
All right, let's
Can I
move
say
on.
Can I say my favorite bowl game name, or I have to save it till next week? Or
It's
can
your
I
show.
only pick out of that?
Whatever you want. Whatever you want.
I mean, that Gronk one's up there. That
LA
that
Bowl
one's
presented by
absurd.
Gronk.
I don't know why I like. Where was it? Dang it! I just saw it. There's the Military Bowl presented by GoBowling.com.
Wow.
That's a good one.
That one's pretty
Pretty good
good. I do like Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl,
Gasparilla.
but by Union Home Mortgage. That's a hard word to say. That Military Bowl presented by Go Bowling is pretty wild.
That's a good
There was one more. Well, Pop Tarts Bowl. That's interesting.
Oh, I feel like that's a new one. I don't remember that one last
That one's
year.
It is a new one.
interesting.
NC
Tony
State.
the Tiger Sun Bowl.
Mm. That's a great one.
All these bowls. See, like the way you doing it, like you are actually proving how unserious these bowls. Like you just.
What about no? How about this? The Tax Act Texas Bowl.
Tax Act, Texas.
There's nothing I love more than just like a tax
Tax.
company
Yeah.
that helps me pay my taxes.
Money talks, baby.
Just like Home Mortgage. I love that they sponsor a football game.
Look, listeners, watchers, you keep watching and listening to the show. We're gonna have the Pub Sports Talk Bowl, the Pub Bowl. You better watch out.
Pub Bowl.
Pub Bowl.
But I want an absurd name. I want the Pub Sports Talk Bowl presented by Tim Farner. Bowl.
the Ghost of Tim Farner R.I.P. Bowl.
The
Pork Rind Bowl.
The
Pub
Pub
Sports.
Sports Talk. The Pub Sports Talk presents the Ghost of Tim Farmer Bowl.
Farmer.
Farmer.
All right, let's talk about the league here, boys. Let's talk about DK Metcalf getting ejected. I don't know if you guys saw it. Fred Warner 49ers picked the ball off. DK Metcalf suplexes Fred Warner. Fred Warner gets up, kind of shoves him in the back as the 49er players running with the ball here. Everything seems good. DK Metcalf does not like getting shoved in the back, goes face to face with the cat, throws some punches. All hell breaks loose here. Apparently, Fred Warner just said, "Hey, man, you know how to tackle. Good job, buddy." And that just set DK off. I already knew DK was having a bad day, the way the offense was running, and him on the sideline, he already thrown his helmet. He was just having a bad day. I feel like that was the icing on the cake. Just him getting ejected. I'm not surprised. I feel like this is like his first objection. I feel like I'm surprised by that. Like this is crazy. I feel like he's a hothead. You guys' thoughts?
I remember seeing this, and somebody tweeted about it. They said it was something about DK being like kind of weird as he is, and probably roid rage too. Like, of course, it's probably going to be his response to whatever opposition he faces or whatever. But I mean, I can't argue with it. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, sports, we've always talked about how sportsmanship is overrated.
Yep.
And I feel like at that point there was no way for them to win, especially like, I don't know if Carroll's losing his mind on defense or whatever. So like, hey man, to hell with it. Why not? Like, you've been upset all game. You've been doing what you're supposed to do, and the guy's just playing too much. Why not swing? You know what? Forget it. You know, you can afford. Apparently, you can afford to even think about it. And another thing I was thinking about when they said Shanahan was like 14. Like, all you have to do is just get him 14's head. And I think, like, as a basketball coach, that's interesting because I used to tell my players the same thing. Like, just egg them on, just talk to them, you know. And it's wild how that still works in football, but in pro football, actually, now that's it. But yeah, poor DK, but hey, man.
Yeah.
I just think the Seahawks are frustrated. They've been above 500 all year, and they've had, 2 of 3 tough opponents. They got Philly next week.
Ooh.
And both the Seahawks and the Eagles are coming off 2 straight losses. I feel like the Eagles are going to take that one. I'm just saying, I think for DK, maybe there's a glimmer of hope now. Like, oh, we're actually going to be good. And now you're just stuck with all these teams that are 6 and 7, and it's still not over.
Yeah. I like those takes. I think you guys nailed it on the head. And Devontae, there's nothing like when you're like, hey, if you get on this cat's skin, he's going to lose his shit, and we got him beat. Like, that is an awesome. When that happens, and as a coach, you've told your players that, and then they go out there and they get under his skin. Like, it's like, all right, we've won this. Like, life's good. It's one of those great feelings.
Especially, like, usually that's like actual cornerbacks, because like they're the ones that do it whether you tell them to or not. But to have like a star linebacker get up under your skin and you get mad, that's kind of special. So
yeah, exactly. All right. The other topic here deals with officials and crybabies. Patrick Mahomes, crybaby or valid? I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm wearing camo for the first time in my life. I'm ready to go to war.
I thought I was tripping. You got in the camera, and I was like, "Is he wearing camo?"
Yep. I'm going to war for officials for the first time in my life. They got it right.
Ooh.
They got it right. I'm ready to fight anybody about it.
Yeah. I heard something about the ref that threw the flag. Literally, Kadarius Toney's shoe was like where the ball is. Like, you're looking down the line and you just see a foot there. It's like, yeah, you gotta call the penalty. Pat's he's not a baby by any means. He's a competitor. I get it. It's frustrating, especially when you see the play that they had to take away. Just a crazy thing that happened. I'm glad they didn't pick the flag up, though. There's a part of it where, again, we've all seen Mahomes get some calls in his favor at the end, and it's kind of like, yeah, it's live and die by it. But, he's made statements about, like, against the Packers, he didn't complain about the no interference. He does. He says that. That's part of it's a PR move, but it's I'm with him on that. I don't know. It's tricky. but the refs do have a lot of control on what can happen in games. I don't know what the answer is.
I think it's interesting already. Kadarius Toney is like a little guy, so to have his foot over the line, like you have to call that. Like you shouldn't be that close anyway to where your little foot can cross the line. So that's one thing. Second thing is that he's been a wide receiver for about most of his life, and he never even thought to like turn his head the other way to check or anything like that. Because I feel like if he had turned his head, it would have been so fast. The ref would have been like, "Yeah, you're good," because you turned your head to check or whatever. The next thing is like, I wonder if he felt a ways just because it was the Bills. Because like this is the Bills game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, apparently there's been some weird like happenstances with the Chiefs and Bills games, and like him thinking, I guess he doesn't want Josh Allen to have a one-up on him. Personally, I like seeing Patrick Mahomes mad because like I was afraid of him turning into a Russell Wilson good guy, and we see like his dad is who his dad is, so you see a lot of that coming out of him. So that was pretty cool. But also with the Chiefs being as good as they are, it shouldn't have come down to that final play and like you getting mad, like, oh, that could have won us the game. Like, no, you probably should have won it earlier than that. So that's another thing too. So I mean, I'm not mad at the refs. Somebody did bring up a point, how they've been calling this for like the past 11 times. They've been calling this for the past 11 times, but throughout the game, it happened a couple times, but they didn't call it, and then they decided to call it at the end of the game. I get why you would be frustrated with that, but again, at the same time, it's just like you always tell football players the little things on your head, and he would have told it back. Tony, as fast as he is, he would have made it. Like he would have still been in the same spot at the same time. Yeah. So I don't know. They just gotta move on to the next game. Take out the anger on the next team or something, because this is like over with. Like I don't think it should be discussed on the internet no more for real.
And like what's crazy to me is not Andy Reid or Mahomes went out there and said, "Oh, it's not a flag. It's not a penalty." They never said that. They just said it shouldn't be called at that point. But you can tell in the video, he like gives the ref a thumbs up and then doesn't check with him. And me and Devontae have been on sidelines. We've coached, and we tell our guys, you've got to make sure you get the head nod from the official, because he's going to tell you, hey, you're good, or hey, step back.
They will set you up.
Yeah, they'll set you up. Like you can just look at them, but if you don't ask, they're going to call it. And yes, they give you a warning. Like even in high school, they'll come to us like, hey, tell number 5 next time he gets one. And they do it in college. They do it in the pros. They give warnings. And I guarantee you throughout that game, Mahomes, Andy Reid, somebody on that sideline said, hey, you better tell number 19 to back up a step or he's going to get busted. And that's what happened. And I think they made it a point of emphasis this season, because they called it 11 times this season compared to 2 times last year and only like 3 times in the past 4 years before that. It's a penalty. You're on the line. The refs got it right. And the way Mahomes acted afterwards,
it wasn't worth all that.
Dude, throwing the helmet, trying to fight the ref, and then going to Josh Allen, that was a fucking bullshit call. Dude, if I'm Josh Allen, I'm laughing in his face. Like what the fuck am I supposed to do? You won a Super Bowl off ticky-tacky play last year against Philly. Now, you know what? You eat what you sow here, Mahomes. I don't know. Acting like that, I don't get it.
I don't know. It was like all the times he could have acted like that in different games where he just sort of sat there chewing his lip. Like there've been I remember that for the past few seasons, just like games where he just sat there looking up, chewing his lip and thinking. And now, like with a ref calling, like doing his job, and for the first time it's against you. Now is the problem. So
exactly.
I guess it's one of those things where like you sort of come back to earth and realize like, oh shoot, like I guess the hype has died down. Like I'm human again. So you got to get it out the mud again. Like
exactly. Yeah, I agree. All right, let's move on to our pick'ems, boys, and we'll speed through these. We spend a lot of time talking about current topics, which is good. All right, let's talk. Sorry, nope. Chargers, Raiders, Thursday night. Over at 33.5. Vegas 3-point favorite. They're coming off that 3-point loss to Minnesota. Chargers do not have Air Bear. He's getting surgery on his index finger. Who do you take here?
I'll take the Raiders. I saw was it Hunter Renfrow made that costly fumble or whatever, and he's actually he's actually getting catches, so that's a good thing. So I think he probably snaps this game too. I don't know. I genuinely don't know what's going on with the Chargers, and Antonio Pierce is on a rampage trying to make sure he has a job next year. So I think they seal the deal.
Yeah.
I think the Chargers got to fire their coach at this point. It's been pretty bad. I was hanging on. I was trying to hang on as long as I could, but they've just been an embarrassment. Vegas isn't much better. It's like a tie. This feels like a tie game. But I'll pick Raiders if I got to pick somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm taking the Death Star here. I'm taking the Raiders too. This gets Stanley one step closer to that door, one step closer to that boot, and he's done.
Yeah.
All right. Saturday. We got a couple Saturday games here, boys. Exciting times. Minnesota traveling to Cincinnati. 38.5 the over-under. Cincinnati 3.5-point favorite.
Hacky, I told you to believe in your boys, man. And
You're right.
You got a Chase Brown out here acting up, giving Joe Mixon a few breathers here and there, and it's been paying off. Jake Browning made y'all remember what was happening over there in Washington back in his heyday. I think they continue it. I think maybe not passing as perfectly as he was before, but I think they keep it going. The Bengals got it.
Yeah, Vikings, it's weird. The 3-0 score between them and the Raiders was so weird. I don't even think the Minnesota Twins had a 3-0 game all season. So I think they had higher baseball totals than that. But it is, they did shut out the Raiders. I know it's the Raiders. Feel like it could be a defensive struggle. I like Jake Browning though. Between Dobbs and Browning, Dobbs had early success, but Browning's been extremely good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm gonna take the Bengals.
Yeah. Browning's been great, but let me say this. I've seen a lot of Cincinnati fans should we have a 49er situation? Should we trade Joe Burrow? I'm gonna say this from the bottom of my heart. Shut the fuck up. Joe Burrow is so much better than Jake Browning. All right. I like Jake Browning. I think we should trade him.
Yeah.
Get some picks.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
dude, I about lost my shit on the internet. And I'm I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna take this bait.
Yeah, you got two good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Did they for real say that?
Yeah.
People are always gonna say that.
Wild.
Oh, shoot.
Dumbasses. All right. Here we go. Steelers, Colts, over at 42.5. Indy 3-point favorite.
Is this a Saturday game?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
This game and the next two are Saturday games as well.
Saturday is for the boys, so Gardner Minshew Mania got it. It's for the boys. And it's at home. This man is playing on Saturday like he's back at, where did he go, Washington State?
Washington State.
He might pull out an
ECU,
ECU game for this one. So, yeah, I think the Colts got it.
I don't know how the Colts keep winning.
Yeah.
It's insane. But I think the Bengals exposed them. Thing is, Pittsburgh has struggled. And I said a few weeks ago I thought the Colts were going to lose a bunch. I'm looking at my notes here. I think they lose. Yeah, I'm going to take the Steelers in this one.
Man.
It's tough. It's really close. But I think the Steelers find a way.
I got Steelers circled on my pick here. I think Pittsburgh's going to win here, but then Keith, you keep talking the truth today, man. I'm sipping on that Kool-Aid. Keep passing it here. Saturdays are for the boys, and there's no better quarterbacks for the boys than Gardner Minshew. It's running wild on Saturdays. Give me the Colts. All right, Lions, Broncos. Lions coming off a disappointing outing. Tim, we know you're upset up there, man. I hope you found some happiness up there. Over is at 46.5. Detroit 5-point favorite.
I'm gonna go Broncos with this one just because I think the Lions are gonna remember who they like. Jahmyr Gibbs has been doing pretty well, lightening the load for David Montgomery, and they've been healthy. But I don't know, bro. Like, I just feel like something Lion-esque is gonna happen. Like somehow they make the wild card, but these next few games they're gonna be a little tussle fest. So I think the Broncos are gonna give them one of the first tussles they can handle.
I think the Lions win this one. I feel like Denver, they've been kind of imposters this season, but their record's decent. But I don't see them as a playoff team. I feel like they're going to crumble at some point. And I feel like Detroit's going to get it going.
Yeah.
So I'll take the Lions.
Yeah. I feel like Dan Campbell chugging a pot of coffee, shotgun a Red Bull. He's going to get these boys ready. Give me the Lions. All right. How about Joe Flacco, baby? Coming off the couch, slinging that damn rock. Man, Cleveland's got to feel like a bunch of idiots. You pay the king's ransom for Deshaun Watson for him to sit up in the press box, get a massage up there. When you got Joe Flacco on the couch for nothing. Bears, Browns, over at 37.5. Cleveland, 3-point favorite.
You know, they sent him back to the practice squad too, which kind of sucks. And this man said he wanted to stay in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, poor critter. Like you know what? Maybe he messes around and ends up in Atlanta. We don't know yet.
Ooh.
But probably not, because that would make a lot of sense. So, the past that I think the Browns squeak by. That Joe Flacco David Njoku connection was crazy. And for them to just be like, all right, thank you. Like, our next guy is healthy now. We good on you. That's stupid. Like, why would you do that? Ain't you trying to win for once? So, I don't know. I think the Browns get by off of a kick or, like, Justin Fields fumbles in the end zone or something crazy.
Yeah.
I don't see this lasting long, the Joe Flacco. I don't see it. There's a part of me like I'm excited. I love Joe Cool in the playoffs. But the last few years were really painful with Flacco. Like, he just wasn't the same. So I don't know. I'm torn. I'm like, maybe it's all behind him. Maybe this I've called the Browns a very gritty team. They play with a lot of heart. I feel like they could be a playoff team. Chicago, they feel like they're out to prove something, especially defensively. I think the Bears defense is starting to come back. I'm going to pick the Bears, which I hate doing, but I'm going to pick the Bears.
Yeah. Man. You know what? I think there's a little magic left in Joe here. So give me Flacco, give me the Browns to get a win here. But it does not surprise me if the Bears make this thing interesting. I like the over here too. 37.5. I think both teams can score here. Not going to touch the betting odds of a winner here, but I do like the over. All right. Bucks, Green Bay. Over at 42.5. Green Bay, 3.5-point favorite, losing that heartbreaker kick.
I hope the Packers win.
There it is. There it is.
There it is. The Packers win. They should win. It's no way. Like, Baker Mayfield has been showing his true self. Like, all the Ducks, just like a gritty player, just running over people with reckless abandon to prove a point and to make sure he plays the next game. That should stop in Green Bay. So hopefully it does.
Yeah, lesson to you high school coaches. You probably already know this, but I thought the Packers lost that game going into the locker room at half. It was even. It was still a ball game, but Giants had the energy, and we looked like we were down by like 20, and it was just like, where's the energy?
Yep.
And I feel like that was it. They started to get a little energy late in the fourth quarter, but that time you need a wish and a prayer. You need, or a Saquon fumble to get back in it, which happened. But no, it was when DeVito took us down the field. A lot of credit to DeVito was poised. He didn't panic. He dinked and dunked and did. I was worried about Bullock. I thought Fat Randy was gonna choke on us. I think even Aikman pointed out, he's like, this guy looks nervous. And I was like, yeah, this guy looks like he's about to pull a muscle, like trying to get into this thing. But I don't know. I think for the Packers, for a young team to have the back-to-back weeks of beating the Chiefs, then losing a game like that, it's like, hey, yeah, when you're focused and you're dialed in and you've got your energy, things might work out for you. And when you're expecting yourself to play well, and then it doesn't go as you've imagined it, you don't adjust, and this is where I just think of high school kids just getting down on themselves or whatever. It's like just pick your head up. So that was the young Packers. That was a big learning curve, but I think they finished December strong. So looking to rebound against the Bucks. Go Packers.
Yeah, man. You're right. Me and Devontae have been part of teams, but we've been up at halftime, and our kids feel like they're in a funeral. And it's like, oh, why the fuck are we even play the second half here? Because even if we're up, we're going to lose here. It's all about violence, all about energy. Yeah, 0-0. Yeah, give me the Packers here. I think they've bounced back. They found the way. There's no passing paisan there for the Bucks, so give me the Packs. All right. CJ Stroud and the Texans taking on the Titans. Over at 37.5. Tennessee 2.5-point favorite, coming off the biggest comeback we have ever seen. Down 14, less than 3 minutes to go. NFL teams were 767-0 when you're up by 2 tutties with less than 3 minutes. Not the Dolphins, not last night. Titans made sure of that.
Man, I hate seeing Will Levis do well, and I'm pretty sure he's going to do more of the same with this game. I'll take the Titans in this one just because the same thing that I said about Baker and the Lions, I think the same thing is happening to the Texans. It's like the universe is coming back into play. Historically, we've known the Texans to kind of fumble the bag with a lot of things, and games are a lot of them. Same thing with the Lions. Same thing with Baker Mayfield. So now that it's getting close to the end of the regular season, I think they start to become more like themselves. Not to mention, you look at fantasy and stuff, they say like the player just taken out because of a head injury. And then you're like, all right, so they should be in concussion protocol. But bro, the concussion protocol has only been like 30 minutes for some people. Like Chris Olave, like he was in concussion protocol for like an hour.
Right.
And now he's back playing, and now they're probably gonna do the same thing for CJ Stroud. So I don't know, but hopefully that doesn't take him out. But with how DeAndre Hopkins actually looked fast last game, I don't know where that came from. I guess meditation helped. So maybe he does more of the same this game too.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm at on Will Levis. There's a part of me that wants to say these could be two QBs that battle each other for a while. Still trying to figure out Levis. There's flashes of where it looks like he could do that, and then there's some struggle there. I like the Texans to win this division, so I'm going to pick the Texans. But it is close. I think the Titans give them a good fight.
Yeah, Nico Collins, I believe he's out this game.
Dang.
And I feel like they got some more injuries.
Oh, Tank Dell too. He's done for the season. That's right. That's the big one.
So yeah, Texans, man, they lose, and then they lose even bigger long term because of these injuries. Give me the Titans. Give me Will Levis. Give me tighten the fuck up. Give me the Titans. All right, Miami, who we just talked about, that awful choke hazard, taking on the Jets. Mr. Zach Wilson got nothing to lose. He's already been fired once. He's just slinging that thing now. Over on set 40.5. Miami 8.5-point favorite over the MILF Hunters.
I'll take the Jets taking. You know what? I'll take the Jets covering the spread.
Ooh.
I'll definitely take that because I'm trying to figure out while watching the Titans and Dolphins game, like what exactly did they do? And keep in mind the Titans were missing Jeffrey Simmons that game too. Jeffrey Simmons on the side. Harold Landry just had a game. Danico Autry didn't even really have that much of a game like Harold Landry. Harold Landry and Arden Key were the difference makers. And I'm trying to think, they didn't really make mention of the cornerbacks. So the Jets have those players on their team too. Like they have Quinnen Williams and then some, and they got CJ Mosley at linebacker, and they definitely got the DBs. And I think Tyreek got hurt. He got hurt or something. Something was wrong with his foot.
Yeah.
So
he got hurt.
if that continues, then they'll definitely cover in the spread or even winning on accident. We never know.
Yeah.
I'll take the Dolphins. I think they're still learning. They're not quite playoff ready, but I think they're talented enough. They should get there. I'll take the Dolphins.
Oh, yeah. This is tough, man. I love the Jets plus 8.5. I feel like they cover that. I'm going to take Miami to win, though, but give me Jets to cover. All right. Chiefs taking on the Patriots. Over at 37.5. Kansas City 10.5-point favorite. Who do we take here?
Internet put out, I don't know if it's true or not, they were saying Bill Belichick was parting ways, but I think it's like a parody thing. But since they're putting it out there, I think Bill Belichick wins another one. You know what? I'll bet on Bill. I'm gonna bet on Bill this time too. Zeke did pretty well last game, so I think he continues it up until Ramondre is better.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take Chiefs. Like there's no way they lose this.
yeah. A team that has nothing to lose is dangerous. A Bill Belichick team that has nothing to lose is John Wick out there.
Oh,
Just
gosh.
precision. Give me the Patriots. Upset century, baby.
Y'all lost your minds.
Hey, you can say what you want,
Oh man.
but Tommy DeVito is QB1 in New York, and he's here to stay, taking on the Saints. Over at 37.5. New Orleans 4.5-point favorites.
You know what? I need the Giants to win this one too. And you know what? They probably have a good chance. So, but it's in New Orleans. I don't think that makes a difference. We'll take Tommy DeVito on this one. We'll see how long he can keep this streak going, and go with them.
Yeah, I've liked DeVito through these 3 weeks. I know he beat the Packers, but I thought when he stepped in, he's made some sharp throws, like especially down the sideline. Like he's thrown some tight rope. I don't know. The Saints, they should win. They should win, but they've been so mediocre this year. And man, I like the Giants defense. I was saying it all week before the Packers played them because I was tired of people just saying, "Oh, Fitz, y'all got it in the bag." I knew Thibodeau and that defense were gonna have something to say. So I like the Giants moving forward. It's a great story with DeVito. We'll see if it continues. I'll pick the Giants.
Did you guys see his agent on the field with him?
Was that really his
Absurd,
agent or his
man.
cousin?
Yeah.
Acted like his agent.
From what I heard, it's his agent. I don't know,
Oh.
but he could be his cousin agent. You know what I'm saying?
This story keeps getting more and more.
Wild, and I love it. Ever since I could remember, I've always wanted to be quarterback one. And that's Tommy DeVito. Give me the Giants here.
I felt like Billy Bats, man. Getting beat the shit up.
Oh shit! All right,
I don't shine
Commanders.
shoes no more.
How many times I gotta tell you? Commanders at Rams. Over-runners at 48.5. LA 6.5-point favorite. I couldn't think of a single Commanders player besides Sam Howell So I just put PFT up here.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's a good point. No, I'm sitting here thinking, I guess Scary Terry, but like, I don't think they have new pictures of him out no more.
Yeah,
So,
man.
yeah, it's over with. Give me Ooga Booga Puka out here, putting up numbers again. I don't know. That is unless some weird. I don't know. Just because like usually, just like with the Packers and Giants, we knew something weird is going to happen because the team has a marginally good defense. But luckily, the Redskins, or my fault, doesn't have a good defense anymore, so it's over with. So the Rams got it.
Yeah,
Thankfully, they're on
Rams.
TV.
Rams could spoil. I think they could spoil someone's season in the playoffs. They're very sneaky. They're very good. I'll take the Rams in this one.
Yeah, I'm taking the Rams. Sorry, PFT. I just feel like they get it clicking here. All right. Cardinals, 49ers. 49ers coming off 2 major wins here. Over on set 47.5. They're 13.5 point favorites, the biggest spread of the weekend.
Shoot, man. What if this ends up being the revenge games for the Cardinals? Because they already had beef earlier in the season, and everybody's back this time. Y'all remember, I think it was like earlier in the season where I was like, something weird's gonna happen. It was either the Seahawks or the Rams, like where the Seahawks and Rams kind of make a fight for the NFC West. I just want the Cardinals to win everybody's chance. So I'm gonna take the Cardinals to at least cover the spread.
I'm gonna take Niners. Pretty easy.
Yeah, I'm taking Niners here too. Not sure about the spread. You never know about Kyler Murray, but all right. Bills, Cowboys. Cowboys coming off maybe the biggest win of the season so far. Thumping the Eagles. Over us at 49.5. Buffalo 2.5 point favorite.
Ooh. Interesting. It's not necessarily a tough call, but it's an interesting call. I'll take the Cowboys in this one. I'm not sure like how Buffalo is. I guess it's just because it's home and the table and all that shit y'all got going. But I guess I'll take the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm banking on the Bills to miss the playoffs. I really am. I think. I mean, being the Chiefs was big, but this is a different Chiefs team. The fact that is Buffalo favored? That's
2.5.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's gonna be Cowboys.
Yeah, it's got to be Cowboys. It's got to be Dallas. As much as I want to say, put McCarthy through a table, I can't. I think the Cowboys have shown me that they're legit right now. Now, come playoff time, it's a different story. But give me Cowboys to win here. All right. Jags, Ravens, over set at 43.5. Baltimore, 3.5 point favorite.
I'll take the Ravens. That's an easy call. Yeah. Odell is feeling himself, so I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Jaguars defense, I don't know. They can create turnovers, but I don't know if they're like consistent. You know, like I feel like the other Harbaugh has something up his sleeve to just make people remember who the Jags used to be.
Yeah.
So, something I randomly looked up today while I was on the way to work. So Foye, that used to play with the Falcons, that's the linebacker. He's still leading the league in solo tackles. So I figured that was pretty good stuff. And I think Patrick Queen is number 6 or 7. So that kind of could have an impact on the pass and run game. So I don't know. I don't think it's going to be as high scoring just because of him. But I don't know. I still think the Ravens pull it off.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Ravens. I think a healthy Trevor Lawrence would make this really interesting. But I think who's even is he even starting? I don't even know. Even if he's hurt, I'd still take the Ravens.
Yeah. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm going to toot it. Zay Flowers, I said it back in February of last year. He is the real deal, and he is a guy you need to watch, and he has definitely showed it. Man.
Well, Odell, too.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm going to say is Zay Flowers and Odell complement each other so well. Then you add Lamar in there. This is a very dangerous offense, and then you add their defense on top of it. This might be the best team in the AFC, and that pains me to say. I know Devin loves for me to say that, but give me Baltimore. Give me the Ravens here to win.
I gotta say, Odell did this with the Rams too. If I had to pick a receiver that was a star early in their career and then had to kind of be like the second fiddle or like be a role player, so to speak, I never would have picked Odell Beckham.
No,
but he is that perfect like old vet in the locker room, still making plays on the field, and like. I don't know. It's a really interesting recipe moving forward.
That's a good take. I wonder if he tells rookies like, "Hey, don't get in a fight with the kicking net. That shit hits you bad."
I never would have picked like it's
I know.
two different people. It really is.
It's crazy. By the way, he's only made 2 Pro Bowls, both coming before he was 24. So
he did a lot. Now you said like. He's a vet is kind of wild because he's like maybe a year or two year or two younger than us, which means like he like exploded on the scene. Like he was it.
Yeah.
We're old as fuck and haven't done anything. That's what you're telling us, Devontae. Yeah.
How old is Odell Beckham?
Like 29, I think. Maybe.
He's 31.
31. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
He's born 92. He's older than me.
He's older than me. Yep. Devontae, I think he's the same age as you.
Yeah.
I got
You're the old vet, Devontae.
Yeah. The old vet over here, baby. All right. Monday night action. Maybe someone that he probably needs to take under his wing. DK Metcalf hosting Philadelphia Eagles. Over on set 47.5. Philly, 3.5-point favorite. I hope Seattle's rocking those retro uniforms. I think they need to.
I was just saying, those uniforms are so cold.
Tough.
Oh, man. I'm going to take the under on the score, and I'll take the 12th man. I'll take the Seahawks. I think the Eagles are, just like you said, the Chiefs are getting frustrated. I think the Eagles are getting frustrated as well. I'm getting frustrated because I'm trying to figure out, like, what the heck happened to the run game? Like, why did they just stop running the ball? And they try to pass it like they have 3 weapons with A.J. Brown and Dallas Goedert now that he's healthy and Devontae Smith, but it's like you only have 3 people to pass it to. And once you figure out a way to defend those 3 people, why not just run it? And you can't always run it with your quarterback because that's not healthy, but that's what they plan on doing. So I think Pete Carroll, that old Sly Silver Fox, figures out a way and pulls out a random win against the Eagles. And then, like, there's a whole nother beef between Cowboys and Eagles. Like, you couldn't even beat the Seahawks, man. So I see it coming.
I think Philly will be fine. I mean, they lost to the Niners and the Cowboys. It's so like if people want to freak out, I mean, those are probably the 2 best teams in the NFC right now. I think the Eagles will be. I think they can handle this one. Seattle's tough. I do think Philly's a little bit stronger though, and then we'll talk playoffs at some point. I don't know how Philly does in the playoffs, but I think they finish the season pretty strong.
Yeah. I feel like this is all just. It's in the making for Philly to make a deep run here. I'm trying to see if they have any uniform update here. Now they're just rocking their normal blue on white pants. So because of that, I'm taking Philly. Give me Fly Eagle Fly.
Maybe they did it
all right,
because they lost.
That's it, boys.
Hell yeah.
Oh, maybe. All right. Let's make some money here, boys. Let's make some money. Pub parlay time. Let's do the damn thing.
My bet, did it hit?
What was yours? Alabama basketball
They went to cover. I think they covered
+6.
points. They didn't win, but I think they
Let me see.
were within 6.
I can't remember. Let me look back on the bet slip.
Versus
Oh,
Purdue.
wait.
They were within 6.
You didn't
it-
miss
it was
the
a push.
Falcons and Panthers game.
It was a push. I thought it was 6.5.
It was a
six-
push. Oh shit! I did miss Falcons and Panthers. I don't know how I
saw-
did that. I am so sorry.
You're good. No,
Oh.
it probably doesn't make a difference because this is probably going to end up being the Panthers' second one game. But I'll go
No, Falcons
from
win.
that one.
I'm taking Falcons.
Yeah, give me the Dirty Birds. Believe in your boys.
I'm
The Panthers are
trying my
awful.
hardest, but like people were saying, like I keep seeing mock drafts and it's pissing me off because people are trying to draft quarterbacks, and I'm like, no, because it's gonna be the same thing. You have to have other people, possibly other coaches, but that just makes too much sense. So hopefully they pull out 7-7. Buccaneers finish out 6-8, and we're back on top. But I don't know. It's a 3-way tie in the NFC South with 6-8. I am so embarrassed, but you know what? It's all good. It's all good. We root for the underdog. We love an underdog.
Hey, I hear you. I'm taking the Falcons here. I think they bounce back here. I'm with you.
Mm-mm. At least it's on TV.
All right, boys. Yeah, you get to watch it.
All right.
All right. Pub parlay time. What do we guys got?
Let's see.
I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna take Western Kentucky money line. I know Fitz doesn't want to bet on bowl games, but I just like the way the Hilltoppers have played ball this year. I watched a lot of film, Fitz. You got to believe me. Hilltoppers to win. They haven't had any cats in the transfer portal. Locker room vibes seem real high right now. Western Kentucky.
Ooh. Oh. Okay. Is
Per my
the-
inside sources.
Let's see. Oh, okay. I got Saturday. Wait, how far do we go ahead?
Whatever you want.
Okay. So State plays at Tennessee.
Mm.
Do you know if there's like actually let me see if there's a spread on that.
Devontae's just typing away right now.
That's me.
Oh, is it?
I'm going deep dive
Oh,
on
man.
some basketball here. I think I got my pick. Just
You know what?
just
All right,
Forget it.
hopefully
Let
it's Saturday
Let me
if
roll.
Devontae's
I'm gonna
won.
go with the State money line against Tennessee.
NC State money
I
line.
hate that. I hate that.
Okay.
Pick.
Yeah.
I hate that pick.
What?
That's a
Why?
homer. That's a homer pick. That's not a
But Tennessee is
That-
not
that
supposed
is
to
a
be
homer,
12,
and it is-
and-
at Tennessee. That's
Yeah,
tough.
they're not
That's
supposed to be
tough.
12.
Yeah.
They are not good. They're not good.
That's tough. That's tough.
Hey, we believe in our boys. Plus, Tennessee has 3 losses.
I'm gonna
Believe in the
take-
boys.
I'm gonna
Believe in the
say
boys.
St. Bonaventure upsets Florida Atlantic number 15.
And why you get to do that?
oh,
it's that-
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Why do you get to do that?
Yeah.
It's at home. It's at home. St. Bonnie, a good tournament team. Florida Atlantic just a little bit overranked. I think they're pretty
This
similar.
is December, son.
Yeah, but
No tournament.
they've been
This
they've
is
been a good
December.
tournament. They've been a good team. They've been part of it is they haven't really played anybody yet.
What are they playing?
Say they're
I don't see what's
playing Saturday.
Saturday?
This Saturday.
You said Florida? Wait.
Florida
you said
Atlantic.
Florida Atlantic.
Florida Atlantic.
Yeah, I got you.
But
I
they're
got
number
you, I got you.
15. Florida Atlantic's
Okay.
ranked number 15.
Okay.
But St. Bonnie unranked,
Yeah.
and
I don't know why you get to do that and Devontae doesn't.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah. I'm cool. I'm cool with all
it's
these
just
picks.
that Vontae's he's an NC State guy.
Yeah,
It'd be like
yeah,
me betting on the Packers. I don't bet on the Packers, I don't
Yeah.
because I know my
Wow.
bias gets the best of me.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You
But I
know?
like to roll the dice here and there. So
Yeah, I know. I just 12 Tennessee. Tennessee's good. That's all I'm saying.
I'm good, brother.
Pub Sports Talk has survived for 3 years because we hype each other up. Boys believe in boys. The boys hype each other up here, baby. So we got all dog parlay, Western Kentucky football money line, NC State basketball money line, St. Bond basketball money line. The dogs are hitting. It's a dogs weekend, baby. Let's go to work. All right, random question. Anybody got one?
Oh, I got one. Tis the season. I don't know if y'all asked this, but what's the first Christmas present you remember? Well, what's the earliest Christmas present you remember getting?
I think we did that way, way back, but we could do it again. I think we did that like one of the earliest episodes.
We might have
One
done
of
that
the
one in the
early-
cabin, maybe.
I think
when
like
we were
season
Ooh.
1 or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, we can do
Because
it.
I know mine. The first
You know what?
gift.
Let's flip it then. What's the earliest Christmas gift you remember giving? Like actually with your own money or making?
Oh man. I remember I made when I was in first grade, I made my dad and mom a booklet. I made them both a booklet of all 31 NFL teams because there
You are
wasn't
real.
32 yet.
You are real.
And I illustrated, I drew like the logo because I remember I had to look up the logos on Madden, and I'd like, and I kept coming in the room. I remember coming in the room. I was like, "Dad, how do you spell Baltimore?
Oh,
Dad, how do you spell Oakland?" You know, and like, so it's like, what is he working on? So
I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. If my son gave me that for Christmas, I'd cry.
Yeah, right?
So that's crazy.
I might have my first gift back here on the shelf. I gotta look for that.
Ooh,
That's cool.
that's cold.
Let's see. I remember. I feel like I made something in art class. Oh, we made snowflake ornaments when I was in second grade, and to this day, I think my parents still hang that ornament up on the tree. It's got my little yearbook picture from like second grade.
Yeah.
Me chubby and bald headed with a gap. It was cool. And I got to decorate the snowflake, and I tried to be. It was a girl right next to me, and she was doing hers all pretty because we got to use the little sparkle glue, and I'm trying to do mine and outline it like she did, and like at these times, but I'm a boy still, so I couldn't get my fingers right, and I'm stronger than what I know, so like, I completed everything. And it just looks like little explosions of glitter, but it's all good though because they still got it hanging up.
Hey man, I like that. Yeah, I didn't think about the ornament. You know, making the ornaments for mom and dad, like doing the popsicle sticks and then make them like a snowflake, that type of stuff. I remember doing that. And yeah, you're right. All the girls look pretty, and then all the guys are like, "Yo, what the? Did you just fucking throw glitter on this thing? Like, what are you doing?"
It's crazy though because you look at it when you're younger. Like, I remember I cried because I was like, "No, I messed it up."
Mhm.
And then now I'm looking at it now, and I like the fact that I messed it up. Even my stocking hangs up, and I tried to write my name like my mom wrote hers, and I got mad because she wouldn't write mine. She was like, "No, you do it."
Yeah.
So every year I go to my parents' house and I look at mine, and I got like I got a stick figure Santa face, and like I drew it with a gold little squeezy glitter thing. And it's a stick figure, so I drew a smiley face, but I drew a beard. So it's like a little beard around it, but it's like not connecting, but it's funny.
I like that. That's good. Yeah, I mean, you guys had great ones. I remember like giving mom and dad like stuff I made in school, but I guess the first present like where I went and like bought with my own money was probably for a girlfriend. It was probably some real cheap jewelry from Walmart. They get all those necklaces and stuff. It's like with the fake ass diamonds, like, oh, $50, that's a lot. She'll love this, you know?
What? Hey man, that might have been real. Like if it was back then, no,
Oh man.
that was real.
But
Hey,
yeah.
this is first gift I remember.
That was from your aunt, right?
As for my aunt Dora, I was 3 years old.
Real.
Damn.
Didn't even know what it was.
That's
My
awesome.
brother got Emmitt Smith Dallas Cowboys jersey. I remember being jealous because I was like, man, those blue stars are so cool. I thought that for maybe 2 weeks, and then I saw Brett Favre on TV, and I was sold. I was
Saw
like,
this guy.
that's my guy.
Him and his little cheese head. Yep.
Yeah.
I like it. Good question. Yeah, I like it. Good job, boys. Good job. Great episode. We'll catch you guys next Tuesday for our holiday Christmas spectacular. And then, yeah, it's going to be a great time. We'll catch you guys next week.
Laters.
Go get your shine box.
Oh my gosh. We would be the bad boys of Little League. I'm telling you now. We would beat the tar out of the other team.
I'm just going to go out and say it. Joey Chestnut has to be on the pub.
Has to
On
be.
Pub more. I mean,
Has to be.
Dramatic, man. That was a journey.
First time on air. Anything to say to Lawan here to get him back?
Look, bro, there are stories I could tell people about Lawan, but we'll keep those right here. I'm gonna let him live.
So smart, and my team is so dumb. My coach he looks dumb. He's a big baby. This
Dude,
man
those graphics.
ripped.
Now this kid was great. They used to call him Spit Sign Tony or Tommy.
Make
What's
your
that
shoes
from?
look like fucking mirrors.
Mirrors.
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas. You gotta, Devontae, have you seen
Oh.
Goodfellas?
I haven't watched Goodfellas, Godfather, or Casino.
Oh
all right,
my
You gotta
gosh.
watch all three.
Well, you gotta watch at least Godfather. And
Godfather Part
Goodfellas.
1 and Part 2, and then you gotta watch
Yeah.
that order, and you'll appreciate Tommy DeVito.